While traveling to the southern part of Mexico, approximately 474 miles from Mexico City to Puerto Escondido, a traveling expat met a new friend named Coco. Coco was a purebred white pitbull, whose owners, a young couple, lived in the downstairs apartment in a popular vacation rental unit just outside of Puerto Escondido. The unit was located right across the street from the beach and the Pacific Ocean. If you know anything about pit bulls, then you know they have a tendency to believe themselves to be human. For some strange reason, they do not view themselves to be a family pet or just a dog. A family member, yes, but just a dog, no. The old saying that people treat you like you believe yourself to be, holds true when it comes to many pit bulls. Coco belonged to one family in the neighborhood, however he really was the neighborhood dog. Coco would visit the hotel across the street where the staff would call him by his name and pet him on his head or back. He had a quality about himself of not being too friendly and not visiting the hotel staff too often. Maybe every third day, Sandy would see him walk through the hotel front door like he was human. A few minutes later he would slowly walk out of the hotel and sit in the middle of the street until a car approached. He would then slowly get up and move to another spot. Everyone knew him, and Sandy, the new lady from the US, became a fan as well. After all, Sandy was a digital nomad who spent many days and weeks alone while working online. Coco became a welcome encounter for the digital nomad expat. He would come up the stairs to visit her maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Sandy always purchased expensive dog snacks from the OXXO store to give Coco when he visited. Although he knew he would get a treat when he visited, he still did not visit often. His owner tried to get him to stop coming up the stairs, but Coco would sneak up the stairs when his owner was not home. One of the other Airbnb guests was not impressed with Coco's visits. As soon as she left, Coco was free to visit Sandy with no problems. He seemed to understand when it was safe. The neighbors saw that Coco and Sandy had become friends, and the men started a rumor that Coco was dating the new gringo from America. Sandy did not speak Spanish, however, she understood enough to know why the guys were laughing. Coco was always a gentleman when he visited. He would lay on the floor and take a nap or just look around while Sandy worked on the computer. When she spoke to Coco, his ears would perk up, however, she could never tell if Coco was bilingual. All she knew is that he had great manners. After she would give him his treat, which she kept on top of the refrigerator, he would never eat and run. He would stick around for 10 or 15 minutes before disappearing down the steps to another neighborhood adventure. It seems Coco was dating more than just the American, who lived upstairs. Coco had another human female friend up the street. Sandy lived in the small seaside village, Zicatela, just outside of Puerto Escondido for 5 months. This is where she met Coco. You can see the open-aired apartment on your screen. She rented the apartment during low season for $500 a month. While Sandy was in Puerto Escondido, the cab fare was between 40 to 50 pesos, no matter where you were going in town. There are stores, restaurants, and beachfront bars nearby, and of course, the beautiful beach was right across the street. Zicatela is a surfer's dream spot and is one of Mexico's most popular surfing destinations. In fact, the small town hosts an annual worldwide surfing event each year. Expats and the locals would walk to the beach each day to watch the sunset. This was a nonverbal ritual where the locals and the visitors honored nature by watching the sun go down. When it came time to leave, Sandy explained to Coco that she was leaving. He just looked at her with his baby blue eyes. Coco is a friend Sandy will never forget. Zicatela is a beautiful destination where many Americans, Canadians, and surfers spend winter months.